What's up, guys? Mitch from RespectMerger.com. I just went live and did a video on some cannabis marketing, and a lot of people have been saying, you guys have been doing a lot of cannabis stuff. You haven't really been doing music stuff. So let me just share this a few times, and we're going to get a conversation of some free game. Free game Friday. We're out here giving out some free game. And we'll be talking about simple economics in relation to music and how artists can kind of understand that concept to leverage, whether it's through a mindset or through some actions. Give me one second. I'm going live. I don't have a producer to do all this stuff. So I'm going to go live. I'm going to share this on some platforms real quick, try and get it going. And then we'll get into the conversation. If anyone has any questions anytime, let us know over there in the comments. One second. One. Whoa, whoa. All right. Once. All right, we ready. We ready. We ready. All right. So in relation, I posted a tweet the other day, and some people hit me up off Twitter because I don't live in Tweetland very often. I go on there and publish a little flurry of some stuff every now and then. But I just want to talk about some simple economics in relation to music because I think it's a conversation that is very important for any artist to understand this. And economics, people think economics like, damn, that was a class that sounds like a crazy concept or a class in college I didn't do too well with. But the basics of economics is supply and demand. It's a very simple concept. And whether we're talking about, if you're anti-capitalist, anti-government, whatever, and you're like, oh, the economics or this and that, great, I get that. But even before we had governments or structured anything, supply and demand, housing, shelter, food, potential mates. There is a supply and demand relates to literally any concept on earth, whether money or government, that does not matter. Supply and demand is a concept that is since the dawn of time. And it's a very simple concept, but I think being intentional about that in terms of music, your music career, and your marketing can have a super big impact on your approach and your mindset. When it comes to supply and demand and it comes to music, music is one of the hardest things ever to sell or to market, right? And I will say that I've marketed a lot of things and I've done music because it's a passion of mine and it's a labor of love. But music is one of the hardest things you'll ever sell. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever market. And there is essentially an unlimited supply. Me as a music consumer, there's an unlimited supply of music out there. I have Spotify on my phone. Like there's literally over 100 years of albums on there, let alone I don't even know the numbers, some ungodly amount, 20,000, 30, 40,000 songs are uploaded every day. I don't know the exact figure, so I could be way off. But there's a crazy amount of songs being uploaded every day on top of, over a century of music, potentially a century of music on the platform. All of the greatest artists of time usually have most of their catalog on there. So as an average consumer, there is an unlimited supply of music that I could choose. I want to play music. There is an unlimited supply. The demand for music varies, right? This is where music becomes such a difficult thing to market and to sell. If I am someone that like, okay, I have a plumbing problem. I need a plumber to come fix it. I have an issue. I have demand. What is the supply? I usually go to Google, I search for a plumber or cleaner, whatever, and I see my supply and I can make my choice. When it comes to music, the average person is, I need to listen, I want to listen to some music. They're going to go to something they know, something they're familiar with. I'm in a car ride or I'm at work and I just want to put music on, or I'm in the club. I'm not trying to cycle artist. Let me listen to 50 artists I've never heard so I can find the right one that fits what I'm trying to do. It's not really where you go start seeking and digging in for your supply. So there's an unlimited supply of music and it goes wide and vast. And why people choose to listen to one thing over a different thing varies from reason to reason. But ultimately there's an unlimited supply of rappers that want fans or want audience. Two, there's not a demand for rappers who I've never heard. And I'm talking about rappers because I mainly deal in hip hop, but this could apply to any there's not really a demand for artists that no one's heard about or talked about or been co-signed by respected artists or put on a media pedestal, right? I'm just an average everyday Joe trying to consume music. If I've never heard of an artist, how can I find them on Spotify? I don't know their name, so I can't search it. If I search on Google, I can't find it. And not very many people I know, because I look at the data, not many people are searching new artists from X city or new artists from here. Usually, an artist, you hear it on the radio, people are talking about it, or one of your favorite artists features them, co-signs them, or takes them on tour. That's how you hear of new artists you do not know. When you're in business, you have to you have to be mindful of demand, supply and demand, right? You can't sit back and allow the demand to take your supply. You have to build demand. Unless you're in a service base, right? Like again, back to the example, maybe there's no plumbers in an area and you pop up as a plumber. Now you have the only supply for something that people have demand for. You're easy. When you're in rap, you're not able to necessarily benefit from that concept of supply and demand. So you have to build demand. There's unlimited supply. You have got to build demand. If you're not building demand, no one's ever going to know you, you know. And people get twisted. They get on the love and the art. Man, I'm so talented. I'm just gonna be so dope. The world's gonna take notice, and that can work. I'm not trying to overtalk people. That can work. There are rappers out there who didn't have a very big following, and somehow, some way, the right person heard them, and their talent shined through, and that talent alone propelled them to where they got to. There are not very many of those stories, and there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of rappers trying to get on. And out of that hundreds of thousands or millions, there are tens of thousands that are ungodly talented, have the talent to be in the game, have the talent to potentially sell gold records, platinum records, whatever. They are talented, but that talent doesn't mean shit. Name 10 rappers that are hot right now and selling simply because of talent. You could probably pick 10 rappers right now that you don't think are talented and you don't know why they're selling, way easier than you could think of the other. And that's purebred example of why talent doesn't mean shit. You can't be the best artist or make the best song, and that alone is going to get you there. You have to have an image. People have to fucking know you or hear about you. If you have the dopest music in the world and no one's hearing for it, no one's checking for it, no one knows you, so they're not searching your name, how the fuck is anyone going to find your music? You have got to build demand. And then when you look at artists, how do artists make money? Demand, their audience. Whether you say music is dead and there's no money in music, okay, so what do those artists do? They build up an audience off their music and then they leverage that for monetization outside of music. Or you say, oh, they push a lot of CDs out the trunk or they actually make money on streaming. Well, what are they making money off? Their audience. Artists do not make money on good, talented art. And I love art, I love music. I make music simply for the art and not for the business. So if you're emotional or you disagree, that's up to you. But when we're talking about music business, my guy Avery Turner, he's a big guy that's put me onto this concept, and it really has ingrained with me. And I got to give him credit because it's always stuck for me. When we talk about the music business, there's two words there, and business is the most important one. The music doesn't fucking matter; it's music business. And what is the purpose of a business? A purpose of a business is to make money. Now, we can say we want to solve world hunger or help people and make a business out of it, great. But at the end of the day, if you're not making business, there's no budget to pay anyone, there's no way to market it, it's fucking dead. Without money, a business dies. It is air for a business, making money. And for a business, having an audience or having demand, that is the air to make money. You have to make money and you have to build audience. So if you want to be in the music business, the word business is more important than music. And we can provide 1,001 examples of why this is true. But it's just something to be, so many people get caught in the emotion of the music and the art, and it should be great. And people that are into art should be talented and should put a lot of work into the art, and people will appreciate that, and that can help you cut through. And I'm not saying it's not important, but for the conversation of marketing or the business side, we have to detach that emotion and simply think about the business side. So back to supply and demand. There's an unlimited supply of music, there's an unlimited supply of artists, and there's a very, very large supply of talented, good, worthy artists. There is very low demand for artists, and quite literally almost no demand for artists no one's heard of. You have to get heard of. Once you get heard of, you can build an audience. Once you build an audience, you can leverage that for money or building a bigger audience or building sustainable career. That's, I mean, that's just really how it works. I wrote some notes down for this little rant. Um, you know, if and back to that, if people don't know you, they're not going to Google you. You could have posters up all over the city, but if no one knows you, they're probably not going to look at it. You could have a show if no one knows you, no one's going to come. How would they come? How would you sell tickets? You have to get known. Like, and that's how do you get known? Through building demand, through getting your name out there. That's marketing, it's branding, being put on platforms. I mean, whatever it works. Like whatever different things work for different people, right? And how do you get, like, you look at some of the artists in the game, like some examples, right? Like Kanye West is now dropping. Kanye West has used controversy, not necessarily to get his career, his documentaries out. So we're seeing how his rise happened. Um, but he's used controversy for like well over a decade. Every time he has a new shoe dropping, a new album dropping, he uses the same ruffles everyone's feathers of controversy to keep his name hot and prevalent and trending above all things, and it helps him move units. He uses controversy. While he doesn't use that for people to know who he is, that he uses that to sustain his level of celebrity. He the demand for Kanye is there because it's just he's always inserting himself in controversy. If you look like the baby physically wore a diaper around South by Southwest in a while, and his name was the baby. Before anybody knew him, he went viral for that, and then people checked and were like, "Wow, he actually makes slaps." And now he's super popular. He doesn't wear the diapers or do any of that. 6ix9ine, trolled the entire game, talked all sorts of crazy shit, and that's how people got into him. And then maybe his music took it another leg. Look at Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, way earlier than those guys. Soldier Boy got on by putting his music on popular download platforms under the names of artists that people have demand for. People were searching for mainstream artists, um, and they uncovered his song, and back then that song went viral in early days of the internet, and it propelled it. So it's like people use certain things to build awareness or audience, and then their talent or the quality of whatever they have then takes over. But without building that demand or getting that audience, there is absolutely nothing there. You know, it's and so as an artist, I think it's very important to think of two different things. You have what in business, there's two different aspects. There's customer acquisition and there's customer retention. You need new customers, customer acquisition, and customer retention is keeping your existing customers coming back, having your existing customers tell other people about you to increase your customer account. How a business works: customer acquisition, customer retention. As a music artist, you have two different things: fan acquisition and fan retention. You don't make money acquiring fans. It usually costs money and takes time. Once you have fans or audience, you can leverage that for monetization. So there's the two different aspects there. And so many artists get a little bit of fans and immediately jump to, I need to start getting paid. I need to start getting shows. Dang, I just got paid $500 for a show in my hometown. So my going rate is $500 a show. You get paid $500 a show in your town because you have demand in your town. Any other market you don't have that demand, that's not your ticket. And you can make the claim that you're like, oh, I'm so talented, I'm so good, no one rocks a show like me, that's why my price is what it's worth. Great. How often are you getting booked outside of your city on that alone? You probably haven't been able to answer that because that's not the fact. Wherever you have demand, that's why you see artists when they work tours. They build audience, and then they're able to leverage that audience for money. And so some artists know that, all right, I get paid 500 a show in my hometown. I'll go on the road for $100. I'm an artist, and back when I used to manage artists, I just wanted fans. I didn't care about shows. I didn't care about for my artists. It's not about making money. You have people out there that are potential fans. We're pulling up. You guys have a cracking barbecue or party or frat thing or whatever, and there's going to be hundreds of people there and they want entertainment, great, we'll be there. Oh, you don't have a DJ? We're bringing the DJ. Oh, you don't have sound equipment? We're bringing the sound equipment. Oh, you don't have a stage? We're building the stage. We will put up all the money for no money in return to build fans because that is the goal of the artist. Build those fans, and then we can leverage those fans for monetization, selling them t-shirts, selling them CDs, and then if they become an actual fan, we're selling them T-shirts and CDs all year round and for years to come, and selling them tickets every time we come to their show, to their city. So many artists get caught up as soon as they get a little success. They start. There's a lot of other things that go into it with the ego and being too good or having to be the cool guy or whatever. Your sole goal is build audience. That's it. Until you have an audience that can be leveraged for money, your sole goal is building audience. Every fucking thing you do should be in support of building an audience. And if it's not, what the fuck are you doing? How are you gonna make money? How is this shit gonna sustain? How are you gonna be anything more than another artist that built a little bit of whatever and then it never went further than that? The only way to go further than that is continually building audience. So just be mindful that your intention and your goal should be to build audience. Filming a music video or putting it on WorldStar or whatever, just because everyone else is doing it or because that's what you think you need to do, that is the worst reason to ever do anything or spend money. The money and the effort should be spent on what is in relation to your goal. I have a goal. Is this spend, is this action going to move me closer to my goal? No. Then it's off the fucking table. It shouldn't be, well, I don't know, everyone else is doing it. No, all of your energy and money and focus should be on getting the fucking car to the destination, getting the ball into the fucking end zone. It is, here's my goal. How can I get to my goal? And every move, every piece of content, everything needs to be in alignment of that. And the goal for artists, I mean, for me, it's pretty obvious. It's build audience. So everything you do needs to be in relation to building the audience. You should feed your existing fan base, but you can still do things with the intention and the purpose of acquiring new fans that also satisfies your old fans. But you need to understand it's customer acquisition. It is audience. As an artist, audience. Build your audience and understand supply and demand. It's not working in your favor. It's not. In entertainment or in art, supply and demand is not in your favor. And it's back to what I said at the start. Music and art is one of the hardest things you'll ever market or sell. Supply and demand is not in your favor. Build demand, build audience, have a goal. Everything you do should be in relation to that goal. That's my fucking rant today. Hopefully you got something from it. If you disagree, if you think I'm a fucking schmuck or a moron, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. Happily talk about any of these concepts further, happily debate them. I will not entertain your feelings, but I can entertain conversations and objections, whatever the hell you have. But I hope you got some value from this. If you're on YouTube, the subscribe button's somewhere over there. Hope you press it. If not, whatever. Hope everyone has a good day. Make the most out of it. Build some fucking audience.